it's also like an art form. Like, you will never know everything. Like,
Mhm.
I will never know how to do everything.
Yeah.
Someone is always going to have another way or another tip or another trick. Like, I love working with my peers because we could do the same makeup and they could use totally different things. They could do it a totally different way, but
Right.
then we're looking at it and we're like, oh, it looks the same. But
Yeah.
like, it's completely different.
Hmm.
That is fascinating to me. I
Right.
love it. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet, and I passed on a bucket list job.
Yeah,
And
it'll
some
come
people
back.
might think that that's crazy, but I would rather keep my integrity than showing up and flying across the country and not being able to do something that was expected of me.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get authentic answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. Join me every week as me and my special guest reveal the keys to longevity and success in the beauty industry, from the ups and downs of their journey to the nitty-gritty of their struggles and triumphs. We're spilling the tea on it all, and most importantly, having fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. Now, on today's episode, I have the pleasure of having Desiree Falcon in the Friends in Beauty guest chair. So Desiree was the makeup department head for the film Thelma, which came out in theaters on June 21st. Thelma is an action comedy film starring June Quibb and Richard Roundtree in the leading roles, which is so cool. When 93-year-old Thelma falls prey to a phone scam, she embarks on a daring quest across Los Angeles to retrieve what was taken from her. Inspired by real life events, the film presents an unlikely action hero in the form of an elderly grandmother, which is like, that just sounds so much fun and so lit. So I can't wait to talk to you about it. Welcome to the Friends of Beauty podcast, Desiree.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, this is so cool. When I saw the synopsis of the film, I'm like, this is going to be a cool conversation. So I'm excited to meet you and
Nice
talk.
to meet you
Yeah,
too.
talk all about it because I don't really I talk to makeup department heads, but not a lot that work with elderly, like the elderly cast. So we're gonna jump into
Mhm.
that in a little bit. But first, let's start off with some icebreakers. I always say so we can get
Yeah.
to know you a little bit outside of what you do professionally. So, first one, just give us three random facts about you.
Oh my. Three random facts. I love to cook. I love to
Okay.
cook. Um, I used to skateboard a lot. I don't
Nice.
anymore. And I used to be a dancer.
Okay. What form of
Yeah.
dance?
Ballet mostly, and
Nice. Okay.
tap with little kids. I liked
Okay.
little kid tap.
Oh, I love it. Okay. What do people always tell you that you're good at aside from what you do professionally?
And people tell me I'm good at. I don't. I don't know.
We gotta find out.
I mean, I do like to cook. Like, that's what I kind of do in my free time. Is
Okay.
I cook. So like maybe that.
Do you entertain guests? Like you cook for other people when they come over?
I'd love to entertain more. I don't
Okay.
have that option all the time, but I do usually bring food to things.
I like that. We like you. We're inviting you everywhere.
Yeah.
When is the last time that you did something for the first time? Have you had any new experiences lately?
Oh, the last time I did something for the first time, that's a good question. Um,
Because it makes people see like, dang, I need to get out a little bit more.
I mean, this is totally out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. Have you done
Oh,
podcast interviews before?
no.
This is the first one.
Yes.
I'm
No. Is it? I
look,
mean, this is all very new to me. No, I did a podcast. That's a lie. That's
okay.
a lie. I did a podcast interview for a friend a few years ago. And but I am very much behind camera. This
Yeah.
is out totally out of my comfort zone. but
Yeah.
I'm doing it anyways because you do things afraid. So here we are.
All the time, every single time. And that's one thing that was said at the summit. I saw that she liked to use the Nessa Myrick's products, but one of the things that she shared was like, I am literally afraid all the time. And
All
people
the
were like,
time.
the Nessa, what? They were really shook, but we do things afraid all the time. And
Mhm.
that's the only way to get over it is to do it afraid.
Yeah, you just have to keep doing it. Like
Mhm.
I totally am sweating buckets, but it's cool. We're here.
You'll be fine. You'll be cool as a cucumber by the time we end. You'll be fine. So do you have any, I like to call them mini wins. Like a mini win is something that, in my opinion, of like that's like a milestone that leads up to a bigger goal. Do you have any mini wins that have happened this year? Any highlights from the year so far?
Many wins this year. I kind of honestly, I just feel like every day that I get to wake up is like a win.
I know
Like
that's right.
like real because no one has promised anything. So
Mhm.
every time I wake up, I'm like, yes. Even if I'm tired, even if I am not excited about what I'm doing that day, I'm still like, yes, I got
Yeah,
one more day.
yeah,
Uh, so I don't, I don't know. It's been an interesting adventure with the strike and everything. So I feel
yeah,
like any opportunity right now I'm given to do anything that has anything to do with my career is a gigantic blessing.
yeah, yeah. The strike
Like
was that was a
I'm just
time.
so grateful. And between COVID and all kinds of things, like there's like a new level of gratitude that I like walk in now because I'm just so thankful that I'm alive. I'm so thankful that I'm healthy. I'm so thankful that I get to do what I love and I get to do it with people that I love.
Yeah.
I I just think those are like mini wins all the time.
All the time. I love that. And the fact that you're able to recognize it. Some people don't recognize those are big wins.
Dude, that's like huge.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's huge. I laugh. People make fun of me a lot because I get really excited about little things and they're like, okay, calm down. And I'm like, this is awesome. So I'm definitely the person that like finds so much joy in something really small.
Yeah,
So
you gotta have that. We gotta get back to our childlike enthusiasm. I think as adults, everything is like we're just so unimpressed with everything. But it's like
yeah,
the little things that really count. Yeah, for sure.
agreed.
Yeah. So if you weren't a makeup artist, makeup department head, is there anything else you could see yourself doing right now outside of the industry?
Outside of the industry, I don't know. My first love was always dance, but I hurt my foot, so I can't dance anymore.
Hmm.
Um, that's what I always thought I was going to be at some
Yeah.
point, like some kind of professional dancer, commercial
Wow.
dancer. I wanted to be a professional cheer. I had like real life Paula Abdul dreams.
I know that's
Like
right.
I wanted to be a Laker girl for a really long time.
Yeah.
Um, just didn't happen. It wasn't something for me. And
Hmm.
outside of that, all I ever wanted to do was makeup. Like I love playing dress up.
I love that.
Honestly, like I still love playing dress up. Like when you get to get dressed up and go somewhere, I have curly hair. Like I was like, I'm straightening it today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's there's so many things that you can do, change, wear yellow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
You
Like
can mix it up.
yeah, mix it up. Like it's fun and I love that. I think I've always wanted to do makeup to some extent and
Okay.
just happened.
I love that for you. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Speaking of dressing up, like how was the Thelma red carpet premiere?
Oh my gosh, that was incredible. That was amazing. It was so much fun to see everybody, first of all. I mean, it was great getting dressed up. Like who doesn't love to get dressed up?
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was so awesome to see how everybody was excited to see everybody together again
Yeah.
and just be able to share this amazing movie with the world finally is just really awesome.
Yeah. How
It's
long
just
ago did you all film?
we filmed in the fall winter of 2020 21?
I know the years run together at this point, girl.
No, 2022. We're in 24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 22. Yeah,
Wow.
22. Wow, I'm sorry. I have a real hard time keeping track of time. I'm
I
not
do
even
too. Don't be ashamed. The years just run together at this point. I'm just like, I need like a specific, like, I don't know, memory attached to something to remember. I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
there's a lot of times where I'm like, what's today? Like,
What year is it? I think I wrote 2023 one time recently, and I'm
oh,
like,
I do that all the time. Like you start to like write the date or sign your name somewhere and you're like, oh, where are we? What are we
no.
doing?
Oh my God. So was the film delayed based off of the strike for coming
Yeah, I
out?
believe so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's out now. It's in theaters everywhere. People could see it.
Hey, I know you're enjoying the episode, but I need you to do something really, really important for me, like right now. I need you to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and let the people know how much you love the Friends of Beauty podcast. See, in the podcast streets, I'm gonna let you know something. If you don't leave a review, then people don't know that the show exists, and then the show won't grow. Reviews are so essential to the continued success of the Friends of Beauty podcast, and plus, I really just want to know what you think about the podcast. I appreciate all the DMs, but a 5-star review would be even better. I would love to read your review on the show and give you a shout out for being a loyal listener. And if it's not a 5-star review, don't even worry about it. All right, don't even worry. Just go ahead and send me an email, honey. We ain't got time for that. If you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and even leave a comment to share a takeaway from something that you learned so far. If you don't subscribe or give a thumbs up, then the YouTube streets don't know that the Friends of Beauty podcast exists either. You see how this is going? This is a group effort, and I appreciate you so, so much. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Let's go ahead and get back into the episode. Yeah,
It debuted top 10 on opening weekend.
that's
So
great.
yeah, isn't that awesome? People love this. It's got so much amazing press. It's a real feel-good film. And I think that we need more of those. It's
Yeah,
even though it's action, I mean, like June Squibb is doing a lot of her own stunts. Like she
I
drove.
saw that.
Yeah, she didn't do the wheelie. Like there's this part where like, we did obviously have a stunt lady who was amazing. Um, but yeah, like she did so many of her own stunts. Like it's an action movie. It's a 93-year-old action film, which is so cool.
She's not 93 for real, is she?
Yeah, she was
Is she?
she was 93 when we filmed it. I believe she's 94 now. Yeah,
Whoa.
I know, right? Like you don't get that vibe from her. Yeah,
She does not give 93 at all. She's so vibrant. Her energy is so vibrant.
I know she's so alive. She's so
Wow.
alive. I've never met anyone like her in my entire life. Like
That
she's awesome.
that makes it even more impressive that she's doing her own stunts.
Hmm.
That is so much fun. What was something about this project, like once you received the script and everything, that made you want to work on it?
Well, immediately once I read the script, I was like, oh, I have to do this movie.
Hmm.
Like this is like how I got this film also is kind of crazy because it's the only time someone has ever reached out to me via my website. So
Wow.
I did another film called Lucky, and I was the department head of that, and it was with Harry Dean Stanton and David Lynch. And the producers saw that movie because Harry was also in his 90s when we shot that. And they were looking for someone who had experience with more mature faces.
Hmm.
And so they saw that movie and they said we should talk to her. And they reached out to me via my website. And I remember getting the email being like, oh, someone filled out this form? Like, that's weird.
That's
And then I
cool.
read it and I was like, what? This can't be real. But I replied, totally real. And they sent me the script and we had a phone conversation. And then I read the script. And when I read it, I was like, I have to do this movie. I had actually not gotten a feeling within me like I got the same feeling reading Thelma that I got when I was sent the script for Lucky, actually.
Nice.
And I that had not happened in a while, and I was like, I have to do this movie. Like this is my movie. Like I have to do this movie. And I
I love
remember telling them that too, and they were like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "No, like
it. Like I'm serious.
I'm super serious."
Yeah, when
And
they
it
send you
felt so
scripts and stuff.
crazy, but I did.
Hey, what's up? I know you're enjoying the episode, but I have to put you on to Friends in Beauty's newest community, the Trailblazers Club. The Trailblazers Club is a place where success not only leaves clues, but becomes a tangible reality for beauty pros just like you. See, a lot of my friends in beauty are so talented and so skilled at what they do, but they lack the essential business skills that are needed to grow and sustain their businesses, or they lack the support that is needed to stay consistent to execute their goals. And that's exactly why I wanted to create the Trailblazers Club to be able to support you on your journey. Exclusively inside of the Trailblazers Club, you will unlock expert led masterclasses and breakout sessions every single month, monthly Q&A and mentorship with me, your best friend in beauty, an exclusive and extensive network of beauty pros, support and accountability, access, unlimited access at that to the archive masterclasses, discounts on select Friends in Beauty events and classes, and so much more. And get this, y'all, it's only $25 a month. You heard that right. It's only $25 a month. But you know how Fat Joe said yesterday's price won't be today's price, or that saying, that's exactly how it's going to be. So you might want to get in while you can. I'll go ahead and leave the link down below, and your fellow trailblazers are inside waiting for you, and we hope to see you soon. Let's go ahead and get back to the episode. Will they normally send you the script? Do you have to sign an NDA or something like that?
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
Not spill the tea on what's going on.
No, no, yeah. But I read it and then we had more conversations and they were like, we totally want you to do this movie. And I was so excited. I remember after they said, after we had our talks and they were like, yeah, you're definitely our person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was so excited. Like, I'm pretty sure I screamed in my neighbor.
That's good though. You
I don't know.
should be excited about the things that you're working on.
Yeah, yeah. And I like called my husband and I was like, "It's on." And he was like, "Good for you."
Good job, babe.
Yeah.
Yes. One of the reasons I'm really, like I told you, I'm really excited to talk to you is because you do have that experience with working with mature skin. And as a makeup artist, when we're dealing with regular clients and everything like that, that's not necessarily something that we get to do on a regular basis. So the approach to it isn't something that's really talked about a lot because most of
Yeah.
us don't do, mature clients. So what is your approach to mature skin, or what was your approach when it came to this film, since the cast was majority like a mature cast?
Um, I think first of all, we need to acknowledge that, you know, people do age. And I think it is a blessing to age because I have friends who have not made it this far and they're no longer here,
Right.
you know? And I think that we have to remember that every day that we get really is a gift.
Mm,
And I think looking at age as not being a bad thing, first of all, is something that I would like more people to wrap their brain around. And
yeah.
embracing the face that you're given and not trying to change what's there, I think is the first step.
Gotcha.
Because so many I see so many people trying to change what's sitting in front of them because they don't know how to approach the face. And
Mm-hmm.
I think when you start looking at what is actually there, you can really start to see the beauty in somebody.
Yeah.
Because I'm not interested, like we all know June is 94, but she's still beautiful.
She's so cute.
She's
Oh.
beautiful. I mean, and every time I get to do her makeup, we've done so many gamuts of looks because she loves to play with color, which I
Wow.
think is awesome. Like she's not afraid. Like I remember we were at Sundance together and I said, I brought a bunch of lashes. Like I think that you can hold a lash. And I showed her, the lashes. She chose these bold lashes and I was like, yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it. And stuff like that, it's fun because she's not afraid to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that, but I'm also, you know, not afraid of her face. And I think that, again, there's a lot of fear around more mature makeups because
Yeah.
I think people are constantly trying to make people look younger, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But at some point, I think we need to embrace what's there.
Yeah.
And there's still so much beauty in more mature features.
Yeah, I think because our approach when we learn makeup is so focused on covering up things or minimizing things. Like we want to minimize fine lines, we want to minimize pores, we want to minimize like any what is seen as an imperfection. So I think our technique hasn't just out the technique that we have for regular clients isn't one that'll work with mature skin because they have all of those things that we're taught to like minimize in traditional makeup.
Yeah, I guess I've never kind of thought that. I, I really look at everybody's face on an individual thing. So sometimes people tell me, especially when I'm working not with actors and I'm working with more consumers or regular people,
Mhm.
that they see all of these things that I don't see at all.
Me either.
Like they're like, I have all of these pores, and I'm like, where?
Where?
They're like, you have to cover all of this. And I'm like, I literally don't see. And then there's been a couple times when I've been doing, you know, uh consumer type makeup, and I'm like, and then they have to go so close into the mirror to be like right there. And I'm like,
And I
oh.
always tell them, I'm like, well, somebody standing that close to you, they should be kissing you. Like nobody's going to be seeing
Mhm.
that.
Exactly, exactly. And I think that there's so much about changing who we are that I kind of would like to see that stop a little
Hmm.
in makeup because I think that everybody's beautiful. Everybody has their own unique look, their own unique structure. Like, and I makeup also and skincare is really individualized, and I don't need to stamp everything on everybody, you
Yeah.
know? I don't know. At
Yeah.
least that's how I feel. Like there's so much there's so much that we could be accentuating instead of hiding.
Hmm.
Because most of the time the stuff that we're hiding isn't even worth hiding.
Right. And it's
I
like
don't
a
know.
marketing thing too. Everything that's geared towards older, the more mature clientele is anti-aging. Like it's like against like don't
Yeah,
age.
but like we all age.
Hmm.
Everybody ages. Like I'm older today than I was yesterday. Like we
Right.
can't stop the process.
Right.
You know, I don't know. Um, but I think just accepting what's there and, you know, again, like knowing bone structure, knowing placement is always going to be helpful because if you can find the bone structure, you can still do a beauty makeup,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Okay.
Especially if you're going for beauty. I mean, like I do other types of, I mean, I work in film and TV, so we do all types
All
of
types
makeup.
of yeah.
Yeah, it's not just always beauty. Like, I mean, she could have been a different character in this, and I could have needed to age her more. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's also like a thing that happens.
Right.
So, it wasn't that film, but yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I answered that question.
Well, for this movie, I would say since everyone is so mature, what was your approach to making sure that they looked good on film?
Yeah,
Because I think a
it
lot of
really
times when I
was.
work with mature clients, like you don't want things to settle into their, their lines, or if you use too
Yeah.
much powder on them, it could age them even more. Like
Oh
what
yeah,
products like
totally.
worked for you on this film?
Totally. I did use Danessa Myricks Vision Cream cover on June. I love
Okay.
that
The
stuff.
foundation?
The foundation.
Oh, I love that
I
foundation.
love that foundation. I can do anything with that foundation. Danessa is a genius.
Yes.
I use those all the time on I use them on men.
Yeah, I
Like
have the
I
whole thing. And
I love those foundations. I'm and I chose to do that because it is really creamy and because it's malleable and you can do all things with it and a
Mhm.
little goes a long way. Um, so after, prepping her skin, like that's what I used because I found that it doesn't settle on
Mhm.
more mature skin like other like everybody's so into being matte. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't always like that.
Yeah, I
I
like
think
a nice glow.
yeah, I feel like matte can age
Yeah.
and um I wanted I wanted her to have a glow. I wanted her skin to look beautiful. I wanted people to be like, "She's 94 just like you did." Like, we're not really sure. Like, it is mentioned a couple times in the movie, but, I also wanted her to look beautiful. I wanted her to be pretty. I wanted her to be vibrant. I wanted her look to match what I felt her character had inside of her.
Yeah.
You know? So when you're making those choices, you're looking at finishes and you're looking at textures and you're looking at how it's gonna resonate and understanding your products and how they work is really, really important as a makeup artist because I mean I didn't use Danessa on everybody in the movie,
Mhm.
So um but man, I do love those foundations a lot.
Yeah. I always tease people and say, "Aren't you just sick of Danessa for coming out with all these amazing products because she knows that we're going to have to buy them. We know that they're
No,
good." So
she's a brilliant formulator.
she
She's a
is.
genius. She's
Um,
also a fantastic makeup artist. Like
yeah.
her beauties and her man, I was like staring at her images for a long time. I
Yeah.
mean, they would come through Instagram like years ago, when Instagram first started and like people are like throwing everything up there and
Mhm.
she would stop like I would follow her and her images would stop me and at 30 minutes later I'm still staring at my phone at the image like
Yeah, she's amazing.
yeah. Anyways, and she makes amazing products. So, Vanessa, we love you.
We love you, Danessa. We love
Uh,
you.
but yeah, that's what I used because it didn't settle. And you're right, I didn't want anything to settle. I didn't use a lot of powder. I did use Danessa, a little bit of Danessa's powders, those
Okay.
loose powders,
Yeah.
June. But I was using a lot of creams, not a lot of powder products, a lot of creams, stuff that I knew was going to be blendable. Um, that I could get to stay, that had the, color density that I needed. She's very fair, and
Mhm.
I mean very fair. I
Okay.
don't think, like, I used a color on her that I had never used before.
Uh-huh.
She's very fair. Um, and, making sure that things aren't too harsh, I think also, because you need more mature people need color. You lose a lot of your color with age. Like
Okay.
there's the vibrancy of the skin kind of dulls.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not a doctor. So you need to put that back into the skin. And I think that there's a lot of people who are afraid to put color on more mature women, and I don't know why,
Mhm.
because especially when you're dealing with deeper skin tones, like you need to put color on the face.
Yeah.
Like you have to because it's not going to register.
Mhm.
So, um yeah.
What was your
Yeah.
favorite part of or with the favorite makeup look that you had to do for the film? Do you remember?
So with her, we kind of had like one hero look.
Okay.
And we kind of thought about who she was and what she does, and there was a regularity and a routine to her life as the character Thelma. So I don't know if you know these people, but I know these people who get up every day, they do the same thing, they use the same products, they do the same look. There's no deviation from the plan. Like that's what they look like.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of what we approached Thelma with is she has her thing, like she might, she's been buying Maybelline Great Lash Mascara for 30 years. Do you know,
Right.
like, so that's like what, you know, that's what I used on her. I used Maybelline Great Lash, like,
Yeah.
because I thought that's probably what she would
Is that
buy.
the one that's like the pink and the
The pink and the green.
green? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It's a great mascara. I use
Yes.
it more frequently than I think people realize. Um, but uh yeah, like so there was a she had a hero look and that's kind of what she looked like. And then we didn't really deviate from that until, she did her fall.
Mm.
And then we had to deal with a black eye. And there was different variations of the black eye because I realized again in working with mature skin, when they bruise faster and quicker and the skin changes faster because your your skin thins as you age.
Yeah.
So you don't have the thickness in layers, so you can see more veins, like, and the blood rushes to the surface faster.
Hmm.
And because of that, there's a lot more that happens if you get hit. And it's darker and it's brighter and it's more purple
Wow.
faster than you realize. So I actually did quite a bit of research on black eyes and the time lapse of a bruise on an
Hmm.
elderly person.
I love all the
Yeah.
technicality that like just how technical everything and how well thought out it is. That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, even if this was mostly a beauty film, but there was still there's a thought process that goes behind everything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm also not a makeup artist who just like makes decisions willy-nilly. Like, I'm just like, oh yeah, we'll do this. I mean, sometimes it happens, but it's usually because I know my products. But no, everything I do is pretty deliberate.
Hmm.
So I think about everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Were,
there's a
were
lot that
there
goes
other
here.
Were there any other skin concerns that came up? Because I asked another makeup department head, like I'm just always curious to know, like if somebody gets a breakout or something like that on set, like how do you handle that for them to still be able to film? But on this film in particular, were there any skin mishaps or whatever that happened throughout filming that you all had to
Not
fix?
really. I mean,
Okay.
honestly, this cast had really wonderful skin.
I know.
Um, these are people who really take care of themselves. Even June has her own thing. And I was so impressed that every day she came in clean. I mean, her skin is really beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
She went home and she would remove her makeup and she'd do whatever she's doing. Like, and that's why she looks so good, is because she's been committed to that, I think, because she comes from theater, like, and I think removing your makeup is ingrained in her.
Yeah.
So, she takes care of her skin.
Yeah, theater,
Um,
you can't cover that stuff up. You right there in front of the audience.
mhm. Yeah, she takes care of her skin. So, that was really helpful. And even our guys, like Fred had really great skin and we had a whole beard thing with him. Um, and he still like, was taking care of his beard to make sure that he didn't get breakouts in it while we were filming. And,
Hmm.
you know, uh, I'm also really communicative with my cast to make sure that, they understand what, it's a everything's a collaborative effort,
Yeah.
that they understand, what I need from them so that we can finish this and they can look great. And
Mhm.
then what I'm gonna do my part to keep them looking good.
Yeah.
But I also have had to do things, and this wasn't that movie, but like, we're makeup artists. Like sometimes we're creating acne.
Right.
Like sometimes it's a thing. Sometimes we don't cover it fully because we need it on a character
Right.
because that's a character trait of someone. You
Right.
know, like it's not always covering imperfections. I think working in film and TV, sometimes you have to be okay with bad makeup
Mm-hmm.
because
That's the
that's what the
character.
character calls for,
Yeah.
you know, because
I wouldn't even know
someone
where to
who
start.
lives in the woods, like and it
Uh-uh. You froze again if you could hear me. Someone who lives in the woods. I'm not gonna forget.
that is on them, you know?
You froze
So,
again.
oh, crud muffin, what is
Right,
happening?
right at someone who lives in the woods. I said, I'm gonna remember that time. Someone who
Oh,
lives in the
yeah,
woods.
someone who lives in the woods who's like chopping wood or like, digging in a garden or who has land to take care of. they might be a little more sweaty. They might be dirty. They might, be working outside. There might be sun damage. They
Hmm.
might have a sunburn.
Yeah.
There's all these
Uh, there's all these.
is happening.
It's okay. Don't worry. What was it?
This has literally never happened before. I have Zooms upon Zooms with all kinds of Zooms, and Zoom is
They
not
know that
Zooming.
you're trying to live your best life, so it's so. But that's the real reality of it. That's one thing too with the friends and beauty approach to things, like how you're
Mhm.
saying with like film makeup and everything. We kind of got to get away from like trying to be perfect. That's how I am with this podcast now because this is technology, so it's not gonna be perfect, but it's
Yeah.
totally fine.
I did a movie once where we did a character actor and she had bad makeup. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was bad, like, but that was her character. Like her makeup was a little off, like it wasn't in the right placement. Like she picked colors that were inappropriate for her age. Like so she looked kind of funky. But when she's all dressed and her hair was done and she went out there and she gave her performance, like it made sense.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna tell you, it was a good makeup in terms of it was a good character makeup. In terms of technicality, placement, color choices, all of those things that you're looking for to make a beauty and make it a good beauty,
yeah.
it was none of those things. It was a bad makeup. And but that's what the job called for. That's what the
Right.
character called for. And so you have to be okay doing that and letting someone go and being like, yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, she's on point. Ugh.
She's on point because but if I was, to post it on Instagram and take her picture and be like, "Look at this. This is what I did." People would be like, "Desiree, are you like
I'm serious.
yeah, but again, it's the context. It's the context of what you're doing that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah. Do you teach?
I have taught. I used to do a lot more teaching. I've been asked to teach more frequently.
Yeah. I feel
Um,
like it feels like you would be a good teacher for like TV and
well,
film.
you know what? That's something that people have told me. People have told me I would be a good teacher.
She remembers. I think like just from listening to how you're explaining things because I do some TV. I do mostly reality TV, but I don't do a lot of film. But just from the way you're explaining things, it's getting me excited. Like, wow, this is like it sounds like it's really fun, more so than how other people have explained the process before.
Yeah, I really, really, really love what I do.
Hmm.
Like I really do. Like it like oozes out of my bones.
I
Like
can
I
tell.
love what I do. And
Yeah.
every day I get to do it, I'm so grateful. Like I would rather have a bad day on set at work than a bad day somewhere else.
Oh,
Like I love what I do. Like it brings me joy that I don't get anywhere else. And it's real joy. Like it's not like fake. Like I'm not faking the funk. Like I'm really 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 love to do this.
I love that.
And it makes sense in my brain. Like I remember way back when I was like just starting on set work and I was kind of like I didn't even really know that I was on set because I like was doing stuff for friends and I just thought I was doing my friends a favor. But I
Uh-huh.
was like working on set. And then I got like a real job from that and I went and I was like I just get this. Like, it just makes sense in
Yeah.
my brain, and that was the first time where I realized, like, because people, like, are constantly trying to find their purpose, like, and
Hmm.
that's, like, a thing right now, like, it was the first time in my life where I'm like, "I was meant to do this.
I
This
love
is what
that.
I'm supposed to be doing." And every time I've tried to get away from it, it pulls me back like double,
Mm,
like hardcore,
yeah.
where I finally succumbed to it and was just like, okay, this is what I do. and this is who I am, and this is a part of my life, and I'm just going with it.
Yeah.
Nothing else, nothing. I don't even think dance ever gave me this much joy.
Wow. I
Truly,
love
I
that.
I loved dancing, but this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, I could totally tell that you love it. And you're also in the position to bring people along with you for the ride so
Oh,
they could have the same
yes.
experience. What
That's the
about your
best.
team? Like, how was your team
My team on
for
Thelma
this
was
movie?
awesome. Michelle Tellis was my key, and then Victoria Payne, who I have worked with a bunch before, and June Brickman, who I met through Michelle, came along with me on this ride, and they were really. I couldn't ask for a better team. I mean, it was mostly me for a lot of it, and
Yeah.
then Michelle joined me about I think halfway through, because the first couple weeks it was just me and the hair department head. We were alone because we shot in the apartment, and we didn't have the full cast. So, cast numbers dictate how many people can be there,
Got
obvious.
you. Uh-huh.
Um, but once we started the ball rolling and we moved out of that, and then we started, going to locations and getting the other like Richard came on, and Clark came on, and Parker came on, and we need more people now. So
Mhm.
she was amazing. She really helped tracking all the continuity for everything. I am continuity crazy, so
Continuity is so important. I
it's
I
so
notice
important.
I notice stuff like that as a person that watches TV and watches film. I notice when things are like,
Mhm.
you know.
And it happens, and it sucks too, because sometimes you've gone in and you fix that, and then you have no idea, for whatever reason, when everything gets edited together, that could have been the best take for some reason. And
Right.
and that piece of hair, or the eyelash, or I don't, the lip, whatever,
Right.
um, was minor compared to everything else that was happening in the shot, and
Gotcha.
that's what gets chosen. And it sucks for us, but there were other reasons why that take is that take, and you have to just acknowledge
Yeah.
that that happened.
Yeah, for sure. When you're hiring a team for a film, what specifically are you looking for in the people that you hire? And then also, are you keeping in mind like the diversity on set as well?
Well, I think the script dictates who you hire,
Got you.
because you have to hire based on the needs of the script.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that's really important. Um, and then from there, based on the needs of the cast. And again, that goes back usually to the script, like what's written in the script. So, I just did a movie like, let's take for instance in February, because Thelma really was basic beauty. It was clean beauty. It was contemporary. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. I shouldn't say basic. Like, it was just clean beauty. So, it for that, I wanted someone who I knew that I could handle the shooting schedule, because it was fast paced, and that I could throw anybody at them and not be concerned or worried about what was going to happen. So
Yes.
just a familiarity and a trust level there, I think was what I needed for that one. Um, and then also someone being able to do a variety of skin tones,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. That
Yeah.
that's par for the course in what we do anyways. But I did do a movie in February where the we needed someone who was really, really good with fades, and I remember the hair department being like, I have to, hire someone who could fade. And not everybody knows how to fade. Not everybody is a barber, you
Right.
know? So it's things like that where you're looking at, what does the script need? What do the characters need? And then from that, you look at who you know, and who's the best at the things that the script needs,
Mm-hmm. I like
you
that.
know? And that's kind of like how I like to hire. Obviously, I love working with the same people over and over again, but that doesn't always happen, because sometimes they're on another project, or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they're like, you know what, I might not be the best call. And I love my friends because they're honest with me, and I'm honest with other people too. Like,
Yeah.
I got called for literally a dream job. Like, it was actually on my bucket list,
Uh-huh.
legitimately on my bucket list. And I denied it because I didn't have all of the details. The department head couldn't give me everything up front all at once because of the nature of the project and the NDAs. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to fly across the country and pretend if you hand me something that I know that I can't do alone by myself, and I'm going to slow down your whole production.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to put your name on the line and my name on the line.
Right.
And so I referred him to a different person, and it killed me inside to do that.
Yeah.
But I did it anyways because I have to keep my integrity. I'm not going
Mhm.
to show up somewhere and ruin everybody's day.
Yeah. Was it, I mean, not saying that this is your case, but if you know, was it really integrity or was it like a little bit of imposter syndrome?
No, it was integrity because
Okay, gotcha.
it
Because some
was
people be
a
like trying to talk themselves out of
no, it
things
was I do
sometimes.
do special effects,
Okay.
and I can do special effects. But there was a lot of things that uh, in conversation he was like he couldn't fully explain to me as of yet, and they
You're
needed to
right.
like book a plane ticket like
But it's like
immediately.
you need the information
And
to make an
yes,
informed decision.
yes, and
Yeah.
he did, like, there's a little bit more of a backstory to this, and why he chose to call me, which was I still can't even believe it. Like, I don't even understand how. Um, but he did honor his word, and in doing that, I knew that I couldn't let this person down, and I
Yeah.
didn't want to, so sometimes you have to bite the bullet, and I passed on a bucket list job.
Yeah.
And
It'll
some
come
people
back.
might think that that's crazy, but I would rather keep my integrity than showing up and flying across the country and not being able to do something that was expected of me.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, for sure. It's so important. Do you have any siblings and stuff?
No, I'm an only child. My parents were
Really?
retired by the time I was born too.
Oh,
So
I
my
love
parents were
that.
like older parents.
So how did you get into makeup? Was it through dance that you got into makeup?
Literally have no idea.
Yeah.
Um, I always did makeup. I was always doing makeup, even as a child. I used to get in trouble for getting in my mom's makeup bag,
Hmm.
but it was hard for her to punish me because my placement was good.
Yeah, like, but it looks
Literally.
good though. Okay, I'd
Yeah.
be mad.
She'd be like, okay, like your blush is like here, it's not like here. Like, I was doing pretty decent makeup as a toddler. I used to do her lipstick. She would put me on the counter. My mom is old school, so she only wears red lipstick. I've very rarely seen my mom without red
I
lipstick,
love
but she
that.
puts it on a lip with a lip brush, and she can do it in 3 swipes. So she'll be like, shh, shh, shh. And she could also do it with her eyes closed because I don't think that she ever has, like,
Looked in the
like, I've
mirror.
seen her like walk and like, you know,
You
but
need this technique, this three swipe technique that you're
I think it's because
uh uh
that's how she just grew up knowing how to put lipstick on. I think that that was a thing. I don't know. Um, that's how she put her lipstick on, and I
hmm
didn't like it. It drove me crazy because she would miss the corner, like and I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And so one day I was like, "Can I try?" And so she sat me on the counter, and I did her lipstick, and I was like, "This is what it's supposed to look like." She was like, "Yeah, I guess it looks better, but I'm still gonna do it this way." But
Oh,
she would let me, do it a lot, and she'd have
yeah.
those retractable lip brushes, like just anyways.
That's fun.
Yeah, so I used to, and I was constantly doing makeup in the bathroom, like trying to do my hair. I don't know what I was doing. Being
Yeah.
I would all I wanted to do was dress up. I dressed up in my dad's clothes, I dressed up in my mom's clothes, I'd take his suit jackets and belt them. Like, they got new curtains in our dining room when I was little, and I asked for the curtains and then I used to play with the curtains. Like, you give me a belt and a curtain, I was, like, stoked.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't buy kids toys because they play with curtains and other stuff that has nothing to do with anything.
I did. I played with these curtains and I would invite my friend Katie, who lived behind me because she was the only girl. I grew up on a street where there was three boys to the left of me, three boys in front of me, two boys across the
Oh my
street.
gosh.
There was like one boy. I was like running around skateboarding and like playing baseball in the street and like on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of surfed, but I was not good at it. So, I can pretend to surf now.
Yeah.
Since I started movies, like you can't surf anymore. Like I don't know how people still surf because I'm at set, like the waves are breaking and I'm at work.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I grew up on the beach and I grew up running around the beach and I grew up around a bunch of boys. So when I think I finally had a chance to play with the one girl who lived on my street,
Mm-hmm.
I just was like desperate to play girl things and like dress
Yeah.
up. And that's what we did. We would do each other's hair and we'd do each other's makeup. We'd get dressed up and then we'd like walk around like my backyard. Well, I can't even call it a backyard. It was like a patio. I grew up on the beach. No one has a
Yeah.
backyard.
That's really
Um,
nice.
but that's what I did, and I think I always just wanted to do that, and it got more so when I got into high school. I was
Mm-hmm.
definitely dressing up every day. I would vintage clothes shop like there was no tomorrow, and
Yeah.
I would come up with these crazy outfits. My favorite outfit ever, I had bright Kelly green polyester pants, and I found this old vintage polyester orange orange
Okay.
like bright orange bowling shirt that said Dot Clinton on the back in like cursive. And I had these like steel toe Docs that I used to wear. And I would rock this outfit. I looked like a carrot. I thought it was so cool. And I would have my hair and makeup done, like
Can't tell you anything.
done. And I was like, yeah, I look good. I look like a total freak. Like, I didn't even care. Like, but I was so extra. I just wanted to dress up.
You were
And I think
expressing yourself.
that's what happened. And then I just kept wanting to do makeup. And I mean, eventually I got a job at a counter because someone saw me doing makeup on my friend. I thought I was going to get in trouble. I thought they were going to kick me out of the store.
Oh.
And I got offered a job. So
Mm.
that was my first like real paying job outside of like, taking gas money from friends to do
Yeah.
that.
I love that. I love that. Did you try different parts of the industry before you landed in TV and film?
Yeah, I did. I worked retail. I did freelance for retail brands.
Okay.
Um, and then I got a counter job, and then I became a counter manager, and then I kind of went into education, and then I wanted to do fashion. Like I've always been obsessed with fashion. I'm not that really
It just doesn't
fashion,
pay that great.
but yeah, but I just love it. Like I would spend all of my money as a junior high school kid. The moment I started to be able to have like actual cash, I
Uh-huh.
would go to the drugstores and buy all of the fashion magazines, like Vogue, Elle, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just like tear out pages. Everybody had like, the boys that they liked. I had like pictures from Vogue on my bedroom.
Yeah.
Like models, supermodels, like Cindy Crawford was like everywhere, and um, like Elle McPherson, like all of like these amazing, beautiful models.
Yeah.
were- I just in these clothes that were just so cool to me. And that's what was on my bedroom walls. And makeup, like the ads, like I would pull out makeup ads and like stick them on my wall. And then I'd be trying to create them in my bathroom.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still do that.
Yeah. It's like
I
a
just
big vision board just all the time.
should. I don't. But yeah, that's all I did, and it just kind of like became a thing. And when I hurt my foot and I couldn't dance anymore, I literally didn't know what I was gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Took a office job. I worked for a bank for a while. Like I wore a suit to work. I went to downtown. Like I had like a real like corporate
Corporate
job.
job.
Yeah. But even that was a unique experience. Like Mr. Pink, who owns Pink's hot dogs, like on La Brea, like Mr. Pink was
Uh,
my boss. Like he was one of my bosses. Like it was not a normal work experience. Yeah, he was like the managing director of the company that I worked for. Like shout out to Mr.
Oh,
Pink, like he's
wow.
the coolest. Um, but yeah, and then I left there and went straight back to makeup. You know, like
It was calling
so
you back again.
it was totally calling me back.
Uh,
I really have. Like when I left that job and the market was turning and I didn't really know what to do, um, I saw Barbara Walters interview with my parents when I was really, really little, and there was a young boy on it. I really feel like he was 7 or 8, and he was a millionaire, and he was like a entrepreneur and like a business owner. Like
yeah,
he had multiple businesses as a child. I don't know who he is. I don't know where this interview is. I wish someone would find it.
yeah,
I have no idea, but I remember vividly seeing it. And she asked him, like, what would you want to do? He's like, you have to do what you love. Like, do something you love and it won't feel like work. And I asked myself that question. And I was like, what do I love? And I was like, I love makeup. I just want to do makeup.
yeah.
And the next day I literally enrolled in mud.
Okay.
I went to mud and then that jump started everything again because
Nice. Wow, what an incredible journey.
I know, wild, right? I'm all over the place.
Well, so at this point now, with mainly working in TV and film, how do you keep your artistry fresh to be able to deliver these different looks on set?
Um, I still have fashion magazines. I
Uh-huh.
do. I still take a lot of inspiration there. We have the internet now,
You take
so
classes and stuff too?
I take so many classes.
Yeah.
I love taking classes. I am like an education junkie. I love taking classes. I've hosted classes. I have brought people in from other places to teach classes. I
Yeah.
have traveled to take classes. I have gone around the world to take classes,
Yeah.
literally. Um, I love education because makeup is so subjective. It's also like an art form. Like you will never know everything. Like
Hmm.
I will never know how to do everything.
Yeah.
Someone is always going to have another way or another tip or another trick. Like, I love working with my peers because we could do the same makeup and they could use totally different things. They could do it a totally different way, but
Right.
then we're looking at it and we're like, oh, it looks the same. But
Yeah.
like, it's completely different.
Hmm.
That is fascinating to me. I
Right.
love I love that so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that we have a educator in common. We have Nikki Posley.
I love Nikki. I brought Nikki to LA to
Yeah.
do a workshop because I had been wanting to take a class from Nikki. Nikki and I have been friends a really long time.
Hmm.
And I called him up one day and I was like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to go to New York, but what if I could bring you to LA? And we talked about it and he said yes. And I literally brought him to LA. He put on an amazing class for me and some friends. And it was purely a selfish endeavor because I wanted to take his class.
Yes. He's
So
incredible. I took a
he's
one-on-one
incredible.
lesson with him. I think it was in 2015 or 2016 or something like that. And
He's amazing,
literally was the best investment I ever made in my
right?
artistry.
Right? Nikki is so awesome. He's a fantastic makeup artist. He does beautiful beauties.
Hmm.
His techniques are flawless.
Yeah.
Like, I shout out to Nikki. He's amazing. And he's just the
The
best
sweetest,
person.
a
Just
pure
the
soul.
best person. I love him so much. I
Uh-huh.
love him so much. I don't know if you can tell, but I get really excited for my friends.
That's
Like,
good.
I get really excited for my friends. Sometimes I'm more excited for them than I think they're excited for themselves.
We need people like that in our corners though, because
But
yeah, it's hard out here, especially in this industry. It could be hard and get discouraged a lot. So you need somebody like cheering you on.
yeah, no, I'm a good cheerleader.
Yeah, I love that. I wanted to ask you too. I forgot to ask you, were there any lessons that stood out to you, or lessons learned just from dealing with such a mature class? Did you pick up on anything from them?
Like life lessons?
Yeah, maybe life lessons in conversation and observing them, or just anything that you kind of picked up on.
I think it just emphasized my gratefulness for
Mm.
everything,
I love the
really.
gratitude.
Like, because seeing June and seeing Richard work together was really an experience because they're both really seasoned actors.
Yeah.
Like they know their craft, and it was really awesome to see that come together on screen, but also to see them interact with each other outside of that was really cool because y- there is I think a sense of self-assuredness and like self-security that I find that a lot of more mature people have because we're, I think, told at a young age that we need to please everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not necessarily always the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to be okay with yourself. And I saw that on Lucky. I saw that with Harry. He was also very secure
Mm-hmm.
with himself as a person. And I remember sitting there with him, in between takes, and I think I also kind of have that. I don't necessarily need to speak for the sake of I talk a lot. I know I do, but I also don't need to talk. Like I'm
Mm.
okay with silence.
Yeah.
And I find that sometimes there's being okay with silence, and I've seen that with more mature people that I work with, is you don't always need to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's okay just being quiet
Yeah. I
and
agree.
being grateful for that moment of silence,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I think it's just it goes back to gratitude, just
Mm-hmm.
being thankful for so much.
Yes, I love how much you love to express gratitude. I have a gratitude alarm on my phone. I got the idea from somebody else, but every day at 8:30 p.m. my alarm goes off that says gratitude, for me to have a reminder to express gratitude for something that happened that day. So not something like, oh, I woke up, because that is something to be grateful for, but like
Mhm.
something specific. So for me today, like, I'm so grateful that I met Desiree. And
Oh, I'm
we had
so
such a
grateful that I met you. This
had a
is
great
awesome.
conversation with her and everything. Like, that would be one of my gratitude things for today when my alarm goes off. I am grateful though.
I love that.
Yes. Have you thought about what you want your legacy to be?
I think about this a lot, especially because I don't have children.
Yeah, me
So
either.
I don't, it's like, what do I leave? I don't, I think if I was gone, I think that I would want people to remember my joy, really. That if they thought about me, that they would think about how I made them feel.
Yeah.
Like I really love people. I really do. Like it's genuine. Like I care very deeply for the people that I work with and I work for
Hmm.
because I just love people,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, we all make those jokes like, "Ah, I hate people." Bleh. But that's not really like
I love people too.
the
I
case,
love, I don't
Like
understand those people that say those things. I love
yeah.
people. Yeah.
I love people, and I love everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own, like, life testimony, like, everybody's gone through something, like, you never know what's happening when someone leaves you,
Yeah.
and if you could bring someone joy and make them feel loved, I that's all I really want. Is for people to know how much they're loved, for people to know that someone cares about them, for people to be happy and feel joy. Like happiness and joy are two separate things to me.
Hmm.
And for people to feel joy, especially if they're with me, like I really that's what I want, I think. That's what I think I want my legacy to be is the joy for life, the joy to love others, you know, that they were cared for, that they were loved, that they meant something to someone. You
Yeah.
know, because everybody in my life means something to me. Like if you're in my life, like you mean something to me,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I don't take a lot of that lightly. I think people think I do, but I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not a flippant person. Like I there's a lot of weight to what that I hold, that I do for people,
Yeah.
you know, and sometimes it's received and sometimes it's not, but also knowing that it's not, and it's okay to not, you
Yeah.
know, like that's also okay. Like I don't need to feel bad about that. I just that person isn't ready for me, or we don't mesh or whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I don't take that
But you
personally.
had the intention, the good intention
Yeah.
behind it. So yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I just really love people, and I want people to feel loved.
Oh, look there. Look. Do you have anything that's coming up next for you that you can share?
I did a small feature. I can't really talk about it. In uh February. Um that's coming probably out sometime next year.
Okay.
And otherwise right now, I really I'm on the hunt for my next project.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm looking for something new to do.
Yeah.
So, and I know it's out there. There's a story out there for me. I realized in film and television, I love telling stories. I'm a storyteller.
Yeah. Do you
You
like
know,
TV versus film? Do you like episodic stuff too, or just film?
I mean, film is really where my heart is. I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie, but I have done TV.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I love telling stories. I love telling other people's stories.
Mm-hmm. I love
Yeah.
this. I'm so happy I met you. I have to
Oh,
ask you.
yay!
I have to ask you the Friends of Beauty rapid fire questions before you go. I feel like I could
Mhm.
just continue to talk to you honestly. Like I feel like we could talk about so much. Might have to get you to come back another time. Just whenever,
Oh, I
if
love
you ever
that.
feel compelled to like
Yeah.
do another interview, because I know this is still new and you stepped outside of your comfort zone and everything. But if you ever feel compelled or Instagram live, I just want to keep talking to you at some point.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. I love
Yeah.
that.
Okay, or a phone
I've
call. I
had a
don't know.
great time talking to
Something.
you.
I just feel like I could keep talking to you. But let me ask you the Friends of Beauty rapid fire questions before you
Okay,
go. So the first one is, what are the top three keys to your success so far?
going back to gratitude. I think being thankful, um, showing up, showing up for yourself, showing up for yourself, and
Mhm.
then continuing education. I really think it's important because we can never know everything.
Yeah.
Like the moment we think that we know everything is when everything has stopped. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
have to keep growing. You have to keep growing.
Hmm. I agree. How do you measure your success?
I don't think I do.
Just keep on
Really,
going.
I don't think I do. I maybe ooh, that sounds weird, but I think that maybe not measuring my success is me measuring my success. I have no idea. I don't
Mhm.
think I think I even when I feel like I'm doing something, I always feel like I could be doing more. That
Yeah.
is a life thing that I've had my whole life. So
Yeah.
I think that I've never there's always more. There's
I think
always
as
more.
high achievers, it's like we're always looking for the next level.
Yeah. So I am slightly embarrassed to say that I might not be measuring my success.
But that's perfectly fine. What's the best advice you've ever received, or a piece of advice that's just always stuck with you?
Best advice I've ever received. Oh,
Mhm.
that's I've received a lot of advice.
I'm sure.
I don't I
It's too much to remember.
wow. There's so much going through my head right now. Um, I'm gonna say be grateful. Really, I see such a lack of gratitude right now for
Mm-hmm.
everything, and I've I've had so many people be like, you know, be thankful, and use it in different ways throughout my life. Be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for where you are. And I feel like it's a part of who I am now, like I am very thankful, and I think that it might be the best advice I've ever received throughout my life, and it's come from multiple people,
Mm-hmm.
and it still keeps coming from multiple people all the
Right.
time, that if you're not thankful for where you are, for what you have, for the small things, I mean, there's so many times that I get up and I get in my car and I'm like, I'm thankful for my car. I'm on the freeway and I'm like, I'm thankful that I have a car that I can drive on the freeway in this terrible traffic in. Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, if when you start to look at things like that, like when I'm sitting in traffic and instead of being like, this sucks, like I literally start to become thankful for things. And then
Yep.
the next thing I know, I'm home.
Be thankful for the delay because you don't know why you're
Yeah.
being delayed.
Yeah, it's true. Like even in that, like I, I think that there's been so many people in my life who have told me to to be grateful and to be thankful, whether they were saying it negatively to me or where they were saying it positively to me. It sunk into me to be grateful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Love it,
be
love it,
grateful.
love it. What advice would you give to another TV and film makeup artist right now who is just not having the best time? I don't, for whatever reason, and they're just maybe making the decision to possibly just give up on it.
If you really want it, don't give up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if it's in here, like you gotta do it. And hold on. Just hold on. Maybe that sounds dumb. I feel like that sounds dumb now that I've said that, but I don't care. I'm saying it anyways. I stand by my word. Hold on, because it won't always be like that. And but also know that this is a industry of, you know,
Yes,
ups and downs. There's a lot of fluctuation. So you have to be prepared for that. But it's not always going to be like this, you know?
hmm
And we all have our bad days. Everybody has a bad day. I mean, I'm an
Yeah.
artist, you're an artist. Imposter syndrome is real,
Oh yeah.
you know? It's totally real and it happens all the time to all of us. And there's a place for you. There's always a place for you. Whatever will be for you will always be for you. And there's nothing that you could do to stop what is for you coming to you. you
hmm
know, unless you straight up say, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And then that's something different. But if it's for you, it's gonna be for you. And it's always gonna be for you.
hmm
And no one can stop it. No one can hinder it. No one can do anything that is going to come against what is for you getting to you.
That is a word. Absolutely. Absolutely. What is a resource that has helped you in your business that you could share with the friends and beauty community?
A resource that has helped me in my business. Makeup show.
Ooh, the makeup
Those
show?
makeup shows. Those makeup shows are good.
Yeah.
I love the makeup show. I have been going to makeup shows my whole career.
Yeah, like
I
eye
think
mats and things like that.
yeah, like I think I've been to every show,
Nice.
you know? Because you can meet people there, you can talk to people there, you can talk to other artists there, you can
Mhm.
take your friends and you can, and You can see things, you can see demos,
Yep.
you can talk to brands. Um, I love the makeup shows.
Yeah. I
And I
do a
like
bus
going
trip.
and seeing all my friends or, there's all kinds of like beauty things out there. Like
Mm-hmm.
find them, go, show up.
Absolutely. I do a bus trip from DC to New York for the makeup show.
I've never
Um,
been to the New York one. I want to go to the New York one. I've been to others, but I have never been to the New York one. I'll get
you
there one
should
day.
go. You should totally go for sure. I agree though. The makeup show is great. So the last one is a statement that I want you to repeat and fill in the blank. So I
Okay.
just want you to say, my name is blank, and the key to longevity and success is blank,
Oh
like whatever
Lord.
you think it is.
Hmm. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
My name is Desiree Falcon, and the key to longevity and success is believing in yourself.
Yes. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Before you go, Desiree, please share your social media information, website, however you want people to continue to connect with you and follow your journey. And definitely you all go see Thelma for sure.
Yeah, go see Thelma. You'll love it. Take your grandma.
I'm gonna take somebody's grandmother.
Take your aunt. Like I've literally been telling my friends, I'm like, take the neighborhood.
I could take my mom. She's a grandmother.
Oh, take your mom. It's
She'll
such a
probably-
good film to see with family because you don't always get to go to a film that you feel comfortable seeing with your family.
Okay, gotcha.
There's a film that you could totally see with your family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Share your
socials. Desiree Falcon Makeup is my Instagram. That's really where I'm most active
Okay.
right now. I have others, but we're getting there.
Yeah, me too.
We're getting
Instagram
there.
is my main jam.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna start other places soon, but I need to understand the internet.
This has been such a great conversation, Desiree. I can't wait to see what the project that you worked on in February come out. But I'll definitely be keeping in touch with you. And thank you so much for sharing with us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I had a great time talking to you.
Yay.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with another friend in beauty. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, rate, and leave a 5-star review so that other friends in beauty can find the show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty. Hashtag Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.